When I went to the restaurant, I wish they had fruit. You can go and you can order a bowl of watermelon. When I was around 13, I started eating and I couldn't stop. They don't even have salad. They're water fasting, or the next community is drinking their own urine.
Perfect answer. Accept it.
I don't want to tell anybody what to do. It's going to be a totally different life for you. But if you don't want that, you can keep doing what you're doing. I had a lot of McDonald's and Chinese food, and because fruit truly is fast food, we just don't know it yet. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's great for the teeth.
My name is Inna Lomanov. I interview fruitarians from all over the world to learn about their lives, problems, and benefits of this lifestyle. We want to share their unique stories with you on the Juiciest Show. Unique stories on Urban Fruitarian.
We continue to explore the diversity of Fruitarian community through our interviews. Today is our guest Jeannette Donofrio, also known as Ms.Fit Vegan. She is a health coach, life coach, trainer, fruitarian or raw vegan. We'll find out today in details, particularly about her lifestyle.
Jeannette Donofrio is a self-proclaimed professional raw vegan since 2011. Thus, she is commonly known as Ms.Fit Vegan. Jeannette is 38 years young, born in New York, USA, and is currently based in Miami, Florida, USA. Jeannette is extremely passionate about sharing her experience and knowledge of a fruit-based raw vegan lifestyle, with her consistent content creation being put out basically every single day. Her content is characterized by the expertise in how to select good fruit, ripen fruit, cut fruit, and basically all things fruit. Some of Jeannette's offerings include her books, private community, public speaking, Spotify podcast, and her weekly YouTube live stream show. Along with being an influencer, Jeannette also owns the fruit stand and catering business called Fruit is Life, in addition to being an organizer of the Woodstock Fruit Festival and a retreat host. Jeannette's next project is a big one, the world's very first fast fruit cafe. Her life mission is to inspire 1 billion people to stop eating dead animal body parts and eat fruit and be cute instead. Jeannette's favorite fruits are watermelon, mangosteen, mamey sapote, and mangoes.
Hi Jeannette, tell us more. YouTuber, a blogger, influencer, author of few
Fruity
books.
cutie.
Fruity cutie. And so much more. Did I miss anything?
Oh, I'm sure. No, fruit lover and big fan of yours. So
I'm a huge fan of yours.
Thank you for having me on.
As we interview people from all over the world, we have to interview them distantly, but luckily Jeannette is local here. She's actually a local New Yorker. We are doing this interview right now in New York, Manhattan, New York. But Jeannette actually lives now in Florida. So tell us more about, so you're a native New Yorker, right? You were born in New York?
Yes, born and raised, 35 years in New York City, 9 years raw vegan, mostly fruitarian here in New York City.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what brought you, now you live where?
Now I'm in Miami, Florida, and the reason is, of course, the fruit. You know, everyone that is fruit-based will eventually get to the tropics, I believe. And I also, you know, I had a great opportunity to move, so I took it, and of course I love it. But I love New York too, and it's so easy to be fruitarian here. I mean, I've been here for 3 days. So easy, so easy. There's so much abundance of good fruit. So yeah, New York is awesome. I love it. It's a magical place, and I always call this home, so happy to be here.
What actually brought you here today? Like, you live in Florida,
Yes.
why in the city today?
I finally did my mom's funeral. So my mom passed away on November 30th, 2022, 2 days after my grandma and 3 years after my sister. I finally got the strength to do her funeral. Her birthday was yesterday, so I wanted to do it on her birthday, and I'll be back in New York every single October 16th to commemorate and celebrate her and her life. But it was difficult because she was only 75, and I know she had at least 20 more years to live. But when you don't take your health seriously, you don't know how long you have, really. I mean, there's, of course, Armageddon and meteorites, but your health, my mom died of a heart attack, and your health is in your hands. And when you try to take control of it, it might be too late. If you've done 20, 30, 40, 50 years of eating animals, drinking, smoking, medications, surgeries. And yes, same with, my sister, she died at 35. So, 37. I was 35. And, that's way too young for somebody to pass away. And yeah, my grandpa died of cancer. My grandma died of diabetes complications. And many, many other friends and other family members have just waited so long to take their health seriously. And then when they finally had to, it was too late. So that's another reason I'm here, is to help people start now. The best cure is prevention. So not early detection. Prevention is the secret. And it's a lot more simple than people realize.
That's a great phrase. When you go back to your childhood, do you remember your relationship with fruit as a child? Did you eat a lot of fruits, little fruits? What was your favorite fruit? Do you recall anything how you deal with fruits as a child?
Yeah, great question. So I remember, the only thing about fruit that I remember is watermelon. I was obsessed. I loved it so much, but I was only allowed to have one slice. We're all given one slice. And I remember sneaking extra watermelon like it was a cake and just cutting it, eating, going back, sneaking more and more. And now that I think about it, I'm just like, wow, we all didn't realize that fruit could be a meal. It's always like the little side snack or dessert. And of course, I wanted more and more. I loved watermelon. I don't remember ever eating any other fruit as a kid, honestly. I just don't remember. I remember eating fruit roll-ups and fruit snacks and fruit juices and, all these fruity gummy bears and stuff, but never real fruit besides watermelon once in a while in the summer.
And that's why watermelon became part of your trademark. Here, we actually...
I have a tattoo as well.
Oh my God, I didn't know that about you.
Oh?
Yeah, when did you get it? Like,
I have a watermelon tattoo on my foot. If
we'll shoot it.
Maybe we'll shoot it later.
Wow.
But I got a few years ago. I love watermelon. It's one of my favorites, of course, and I'm committed to the lifestyle. So I said, why not?
But how interesting! It's probably connected to the childhood and the fact that it was the only fruit that you were eating, and it becomes you as a media person.
I didn't grow up with my mom. I grew up in foster care, and I did not have the best home cooked meals at all. I had a lot of McDonald's and Chinese food and just like pizza and bagels. I didn't have any fruit or vegetables, and I didn't have any home cooked meals. I can remember having like some tuna sandwiches. I think that was the most home cooked meal I had. So yeah.
So the watermelon we were talking about earlier, that wasn't a foster care?
Yeah, and at my grandparents' house.
Parents, or it was foster parents, or it was
foster parents? Yeah, foster parents. And also, I was at my grandparents for a few years, and I remember watermelon there too. And then I was at my uncle's for like a few months, and me and my sister, we were bounced around a lot because, it's a story, but basically, my mom couldn't really raise us. My father left when my sister was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And
how old she was?
She was 2. Mm-hmm. And my father left, and I was brand new. I was a newborn. And my mom could not handle that. It was very difficult. And so then we were in the foster care system, yeah.
For how many years?
Until I was 13. So from pretty much birth until 13. But like I said, I did spend some time with my grandparents. Mm-hmm. We went there first. And for, I think 2 years, maybe 3 years, we spent there. But then they were older, and it was very hard for them to take care of a disabled child and a newborn. So then we went into foster care. Yeah. Together, always together.
Who made that decision that you and your sister are always together in the foster care?
The state.
The state made a decision.
Yeah.
And then how did you reconnect with your mom after?
Yeah, so my mom she was like hospitalized. She had a nervous breakdown, she was on drugs and she had a lot of issues. But eventually she got us back. So she fought to get us back. It was a very long struggle, very long journey for her. because she was on drugs, because she was hospitalized. It took a lot for her to prove that she could be a parent. But when I was 13 and my sister was 15, we were reunited with her. And that is when I started kind of having a food addiction. That's when it kind of started, when I was finally out of foster care and I could get a job and make my own money and buy my own food. And this is going into another story, but
Keep going.
Yeah, so when I was around 13, I started eating and I couldn't stop. And it was obviously to deal with, trauma and emotions that I didn't want to feel. So I dropped out of high school when I was 14 and I started eating food, and I just was
living with your mom?
Yeah, living with my mom. And I was eating over 10,000 calories a day easily, with McDonald's and candy bars and pasta and everything I could eat. And that was all of my teenage years, just binging on food until I threw up or until I literally couldn't move. And that was a very difficult time.
So that was the compensation of not being able to select what you want to eat.
Correct, probably. And also just not to...
And what about your sister?
And also just not wanting to deal with life and all the stress of, trauma. My sister...
She was with you when your mom, she took you both back at the same time?
Yes.
And who was taking care of your sister, being that
We had a nurse. We had a live-in nurse, yeah. And me and my mom were taking care of her as well. But I started working, so we had a nurse during the day. And at night, me and my mom would take care of her. And so from 13 to 25, I had a food addiction and I had severe cystic acne. I was overweight. I've lost over 80 pounds since then. So many health problems, constant IBS, constant headaches, all these things because of the food I was eating. And now that's why I work with women who have a food addiction, because I know what it's like. I know what they're going through. I know what it's like to so badly want to stop doing something and you can't. You literally feel like you cannot. It's controlling you instead of you controlling it. And a lot of people don't realize that most people do have a food addiction. Maybe they're not binging on massive amounts of food, but they're not eating things for their health. They're not eating things for fuel, for nutrition. And if you're eating anything that is not healthy, I believe you have a food addiction. Do you agree?
I still have, I feel, sometimes, because I cook for my kids and I kind of really want it. Sometimes I do. I always say I'm 99% fruitarian. I try not to, and at this point I don't really have the craving for it as much as I did in the beginning of my journey, but definitely it's kind of addictive.
Everyone, I don't know one person on earth.
Because I don't want it, but I if I'm not conscious and not present, it's sometimes very difficult to stop yourself. So
I don't know anyone
it's
on
created
earth.
in such way. It's created in such way, so it is an addictive.
I don't know anyone on earth that either didn't have one or doesn't have one currently. Because look at our society. There's so many food-like substances in our society, and cooked food is the #1 addiction on earth. And it's so socially acceptable. It's actually way more acceptable to be eating cooked food than eating raw, right?
Than fruit? I don't know. It's again, it depends what your cellular mode at the moment is. So, but yeah, your reality for most of the people is what the reality. And both of your parents are no longer with you. They always say that the child is the child until parents are gone. And do you feel like you had to grow up only from the moment your mom left this world, or you already felt before because you kind of lived on your own? And
Yeah, I feel I don't remember being a child. I've been a grown-up my whole life, honestly. My mom, I had to take care of my mom. I had to take care of my sister. So I never met my dad. So I don't ever remember a time feeling like a child, but now that I'm an adult, I do try my very, very best to access my inner child as much as possible. Okay, so like playing with other children or being at the beach and, playing in the sand like I did with your kids, and, just being in the ocean, playing. I have a watermelon office. Everything's watermelon in my office. And it's very whimsical and childlike. And I try to access that part because I don't want to get old. I don't want to get old before my time. And I know that if you think like a child, then you'll stay young. So I try my very best to access that, that curiosity and that inner child, which I never had as a kid. But yeah, nothing has changed since my mom has passed except I've been more motivated to help people with their health. I mean, it is just so sad that people leave this planet possibly 20 years before their time, simply because of what they're putting into their mouth, just because of what is on their fork. And I want to prevent that. You know, somebody who wants to live, who wants to be here to meet their grandchildren, I want them to be here. And it's a lot simpler than we think. You know, we think it takes all this crazy stuff, you know, these miracle cures and this, oh my gosh, there's all types of things and all types of, you know, life prevention, you know, toxic medications. No. It's simple. We have to follow nature. You know, we have to get into nature every day and we have to eat from nature every day. And then we'll start to feel better. We'll start to heal. We'll start to look younger and have more energy. And we don't need to seek out these fountain of youth treatments. You know, I have a lot of clients that ask me about like different treatments for their skin and collagen treatments. And I'm just like, you don't need to do that. So when I was 20, I looked 40. And now I'm almost 40. I'm going in reverse. So vitamin C produces collagen. We need more vitamin C to get more collagen. We don't need to eat more collagen. These collagen supplements and these powders is such a waste of money. We need vitamin C, which is, of course, abundant in fruit. That's how we'll produce more collagen. I feel so bad for the people that are spending so much money on these treatments and these supplements that don't work at all. Do more damage than good, for sure.
Did you ever let your mom take care of you, or it was always like you were taking care of her?
My mom, she was not equipped to have children. Like
What about your foster parent mom?
Yeah, I had a few good foster parents, but like I was just so scared and young, and like I didn't want to be involved in the families because they weren't my family. I did have one person in my life, my grandpa. My grandpa was amazing, but he was a preacher, actually, and I loved him very much, and he was really funny and a great guy, but my grandma was very nasty. She was very mean, so she ran the household. So it wasn't exactly the most warm, loving family to be in, but my grandpa was really funny, and I really, really enjoyed him. But yeah, my mom, she was a child herself. I loved her very much, but you know, not everyone really is equipped to have kids financially, mentally, physically, emotionally. I personally am probably not going to have kids. I don't know what the future holds, but it's not something that I've ever wanted. My child is my fruit cafe that I'm going to manifest. Okay, so, you know, a fast fruit restaurant, a chain of them, that's going to be my children. But yeah, my mom, bless her heart, I love her so much, but you know, she was a child herself and she needed to be taken care of. And I'm honored to be able to have helped her, you know, financially and physically and emotionally her whole life. So yeah.
The definition of the word fruitarian on Wikipedia is a lifestyle that includes eating fruits, but also nuts and seeds. Many say that nuts and seeds are not part of fruitarianism because it's not technically a fruit. So what lifestyle you're currently in, what you were in the past, for how many years, what's your goal? Is your lifestyle now is your goal, or you're trying to reach your different level of fruitarianism where it's just, you know, certain?
Yes, I love this question. So in 2011, I went raw vegan, and I was a raw vegan for about 6 years, meaning lots of nuts, seeds, fruit, vegetables, you know, everything that was raw, gourmet, you know, eating out at these raw vegan restaurants. Here in New York, there's a lot. Eating anything that was raw, considered raw, you know, fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. So after about 6 years, I transitioned to much more fruit-based. And currently I live a very, very high fruit diet with some green leafy vegetables, very little seeds, and no nuts. And it's funny you asked me this question because last night, I'm here in New York for a few days, and a bunch of friends wanted to take me out. So they took me to a raw vegan restaurant, and it was the first time I had nuts in over a year, you know. There was like a walnut pate, there was, you know, cashew, Parmesan cheese on the salad. I woke up this morning and my face is blown up. I have puffy under my eyes, everything. I do not feel myself. And this is now I know why I eat a fruit-based diet. And I do not eat a lot of nuts and seeds at all. Mostly fruit, some green leafy vegetables, but in my salad at night, it's mostly fruit: tomatoes, zucchini, cucumber, peppers. And that's how I feel my best and look my best. And today I'm just feeling it. I am really feeling it.
You look amazing.
Thank you. And I wish,
You compare yourself yesterday and today.
I wish that when I went to the restaurant, I wish they had fruit. There is a place in Florida, you can go and you can order a bowl of watermelon, a bowl of papaya. And we ate there before.
Last night I did actually. I was in the restaurant here in New York yesterday at the event, and I ordered watermelon as a drink at the bar. I pretty much went to the bar, everybody were drinking. I was like, do you guys have watermelon? And they're like, yes. So it wasn't the best watermelon. Trust me, we could see in my...
But there's a place in Miami where you can get fruit, and whoever you're with can get whatever they want. And I wish that was an option yesterday. There wasn't. But yeah, that's how I love to eat. And my goal is to eat as much locally grown fruit as possible. That is my goal, to one day have access to my own fruit, locally grown, organic, as fresh as possible. So that's the goal.
Do you think the definition of fruitarianism should say fruit only? Back to that question.
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
And raw vegan should be raw vegan.
Fruitarian should mean fruit only, but it certainly doesn't, because I know so many people that eat fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and they call themselves fruitarian. Even me, I think of myself as fruitarian, but sometimes I will have nuts or seeds, like last night. But fruit, yeah. So I toy between, am I raw vegan, am I fruitarian? But when I look at fruitarians, I think of Ann Osborne, or people that only eat fruit, and that's a true fruitarian. When I lived here in New York, there's certain fruits that I could never eat, like mame sapote. It doesn't travel well, as you know. And you can't really find a high quality mame sapote in the stores. So now that I live in Florida, it's just a totally different fruit. I love it. It's so good. There's some fruits that are great, that travel good, but there's some that don't. Soursop doesn't travel good. Mangosteen doesn't travel good. So, here in New York, you want to stick to the melons and the berries, and apples, are great. Orange season is here. But yeah, Florida is great for all the locally grown stuff, like the canistel and the black sapote and jackfruits. I'm so grateful to have fresh, locally grown jackfruit. So yeah, you can taste the difference, right? Yeah, for sure.
I taste the difference, but it's also energy. Like, I do taste the difference in energy.
You feel it. It's a different feeling. And you know what? You're also way more satisfied.
You're much quicker satisfied with the good quality fruit than with
the grapes you get locally grown in Florida cannot compare to the seedless grapes that you can get in Whole Foods. It's just, there's no comparison, and I eat both, but I prefer, of course, locally grown anything.
So you are actually an influencer and a blogger, we talked about, and YouTuber. You do a lot of interviews yourself. Are you being interviewed often, or this is one of your first interviews? How does it feel right now to be interviewed? Because I'm used to you as being an interviewer, and now you're being interviewed. So how does it feel to be interviewed versus... Because I see you're even trying to ask me questions back, but also any good advice you want to give me while I'm in my... while it's new for me and I'm doing my first interviews.
So I am interviewed a few times a week. People don't see it because I'm on other people's channels, but people are reaching out to interview me. I just did an interview for Ireland. Some fruitarian in Ireland interviewed me the other day. So yeah, I love doing interviews because I love to learn. I love to connect with people all around the world. I just did Dr. Morse the other day, and Brooke Goldner, and all these other amazing people in the living foods and fruitarian space. It's a little confusing doing interviews sometimes because everybody has their own opinion, but you know what I do? I just take what resonates and I leave the rest. And I think we've talked about this before. And advice, well, you love to learn like me, so just being there to learn. And honestly, I don't prepare for interviews because it's just my life, so it's just here. I'm asking questions that I really, really want to know. Another tip is to ask your followers what they want to know, because those are the people that are going to watch.
Do you rewatch the interview when you're being interviewed, or even when you interview? Do you rewatch your own videos?
No, never. I don't watch my interviews or me being interviewed, ever. I don't watch any YouTube videos or reels, or I try to stay
It's
away
because
from.
you have no time. What's the reason why you never
No.
interested in watching yourself back? Or you think it would slow down you would be too you would be too critical of yourself if you were to do
Correct.
it.
So I know for sure that if I watch my content, that I will not be as productive as I am. I cannot watch it because it's not really normal to see yourself on camera. And I will find all the things that I should have done better, I didn't like. So I just try to move on to the next one. I try to do my very, very best for each one. I try to be very present. That's another thing that I've learned how to do is be here now, be where your feet are. And then I just move on to the next one. Try my best and move on because I don't want to harp on how I looked. I should have done this better, and then just get in my head and criticize myself. I love myself 100%. It's taken me a long time, 38 years to really believe that. And yeah, I'm just really grateful to get to connect with people like you and Dr. Morse and Ann Osborne and all these people that, like Fred Bishi and Viktoras Klavinskis and all these amazing people that I just look up to and I dreamed of getting to interview. So yeah.
By the way, do you believe in superstitions?
I believe in miracles. I believe in God. I believe in the power of the spoken word and our thoughts and beliefs. Do I believe in superstitions? Maybe in a good way, not in a bad way. But I believe in synchronicities for sure. Yeah. How about you?
Here, see? She's asking me questions.
I'm interested. I want to know.
I used to, but in a twisted way. So if something was if the black cat crosses your road, it's going to be a bad day. The superstitions would sound as such. I would say, I'm going to have a great day. So I always took every bad superstition and believe in it that it's going to be good. And then I didn't know what to do with the good superstition. I was like, are they going to work bad? Or so I was all confused about it. But I don't think at this point in my life I very much believe in superstitions. I try not to.
Yeah.
But I was like, all nonsense. And it's not it was too quick. So that's why we went this route. But
yeah, I know, I have proof in my life that the universe is here to co-conspire with me. So I don't believe in negative or bad superstitions. I believe in synchronicities and miracles, and I believe that the universe has my back. Yeah.
As you were speaking, I was thinking, do I think the life on this planet is, for us here, is predetermined, or we're in full power of reversing it to any direction?
Do I think we have free will? Yes, for sure we have free will. Do I think there are certain things that you have no control of? That's a good question. Well, in my opinion, right? Because I don't know.
Right, I don't know either.
In my personal opinion, I believe in free will, but I also believe in destiny. And I believe that everything happens for you, for a reason. I believe that we're here for a reason. I believe that we're here for a good reason, meaning we're here to help. We're here to overcome our issues and help other people overcome the same one. We're all the same, and so we're all struggling with something. And there's something that, if you're watching this, you're struggling with something and you haven't overcome it yet. And when you do, that's your life purpose. Your life purpose is to help other people overcome that struggle that you did not think you could overcome. And so that's, free will's involved there, of course, taking responsibility for your own well-being, taking your life into your own hands, of course. There's a lot of victims in our society, a lot of people that, just think the world is against them. My mom was like that. She was always angry. She always felt the world was against her. And I kept trying to help her understand that that is not true. It's happening for her. All these horrible things that happened, they actually happened for her, to train her to be as strong as possible, to help other people.
And I met you 4 years ago when you were just pretty much, I think, starting on the Instagram. Maybe you at the YouTube, you were already doing it for a while.
Was it 4? I feel like we met longer.
I'm 5 years Fruitarian this year. So maybe it was right after I started. So it could be closer to 5, between 4 and 5.
Listen, I remember, I'll never forget, you gave me a box of fruit. Remember this?
I have another one coming today, but
it was the best fruit of my life. And I was like, who is this? Inna Fruit Fairy. I was like, wow, what is this? The best passion fruit I've ever had. And I think that was 5 years ago. Maybe you're right, 4 or 5.
It was somewhere
Yeah.
between 4 and 5 because it will be 5 years for me since I started this journey. I remember you were just starting with your blog. You were trying to figure out how to grow it, how to get the content, how to get your audience. And now you have over 20,000 followers. I'm assuming some solid views. You have clients now. Tell us more about your journey growing your career as the influencer, as a blogger on the Instagram. I mean, nowadays it's the most popular, I think, social media, and where most of the people connect and where most of the people get clients, but most importantly, how the world is influenced on any topic, including fruitarianism. And with algorithms and stuff, things go different direction, different time. But tell me more about your journey of becoming
Absolutely.
an influencer with the audience.
When I went raw in 2011, there was no Instagram. Instagram started in 2012, I believe. And so I did not have that, I didn't have that desire to share it because I didn't know that that was a thing. So I was doing it, learning as much as possible, reading lots of books, watching documentaries, and over the years, I started posting about animal cruelty. That's how I started. Okay, so I started posting animal cruelty videos because it's very, close to my heart. I want to help people realize what's going on with their food, where it's coming from. In 2017, though, that's when I started really focusing on the fruit because I realized I'm really not going to inspire. I don't want to bring violence to the market. There's a lot of people doing that. I want to focus on the good and the abundance of the lifestyle instead of the death and the cruelty and the violence. So I started focusing on fruit and I started MisFit Vegan's page. MisFit Vegan comes because I was in school to be a personal trainer. I dropped out. It wasn't for me. But that's where MisFit Vegan comes from. But so 2017, I started that YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all those things, my website. And just every single day since 2017, I've been doing it. I'm doing the exact same thing I was always doing every single day, just sharing what I eat, just sharing, what I'm learning, sharing some tips and tricks on how to pick out fruit, which I think is the number one thing that I want to share and spread the message of, which is the reason why you don't like fruit is probably because you don't know how to pick it out. I remember being a kid and thinking, honeydew was gross because it tasted like nothing. Most fruits don't taste good if they are not perfectly ripe, and you know that. So so that's what I love to do, and I have lots and lots of fruit tutorial videos on YouTube. And now I just have people from all over the world contacting me, just thanking me for helping them know when fruit is ripe, and I'm just doing what I would do offline, so same as you. We would just be doing the same thing we're doing. We're just doing it, with a camera in front of our face. But I love it. I can't believe this is a job. I can't believe that it's possible to get paid to teach people how to go raw and how to be healthy. And I'm really grateful. And I'm going to do it forever. So I'm excited for the next, 5, 10, 15 years of how many people I can help.
Awesome.
Yeah.
At some point, I know your goal was to get 10,000 followers, right?
Yes.
And there's something you had to do, some magic you had to add to your Instagram, right? To get organically from, I don't remember what it was when I met you 5 years ago, but around, I think, 2,000-3,000 to 10,000. And then from 10,000, you went to 20,000. I know a lot of people are following you. And actually, it was one of my followers that asked me to ask you that question. How did you get to grow your Instagram? What it takes, and I guess some advice to people that are kind of want to grow their Instagram, specifically in the topic of fruitarianism. That's why they're asking us.
I started MisFit Vegan in 2017. I've been doing the exact same thing since 2017. And a lot of people grow a lot faster because, the internet is not real. So if you want to grow overnight, you can buy followers, no problem. Me, I didn't care about that. My goal of starting my Instagram was to try and inspire one person a day to stop eating dead animal body parts. That is all I cared about. That's all I still care about. And I want them to eat fruit instead, okay? So fruit instead of animal products. And so I just started posting what I eat, sharing what I'm doing, sharing my lifestyle, and I've been doing it every day since 2017. And I didn't grow for many, many years. And then what happens is that if you don't quit, it happens. but you just can't quit. That's the thing. Like, you gain momentum once you stay consistent. But a lot of people quit because it doesn't come fast enough. I mean, listen, it's been 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 7 years. And I have never taken a day off, ever. And I don't want to take a day off because I love it. I love sharing what I'm doing. I love sharing fruit, tips on how to pick it out. I wish that I had somebody like me when I was a kid to tell me this stuff, to tell me how good fruit can be. So yeah, just staying consistent and also doing collaborations really have helped me a lot. So I've always been interested in doing interviews and, you know, doing lives with people. But when I really started reaching out to people and starting going for it, what happens is that, you know, their followers find you, they follow you, they subscribe, and if your content is valuable, they will stay. You know, if you're not putting out value, then people have no reason to follow you. So I try very hard to make my content valuable with what I can do, which is help people pick out fruit and just share information, share interviews, yeah, just stay consistent. That's it. And yeah, if you want to grow really fast, you know, buy followers. But it's like, those are, I wanted to help people, not robots, you know. I wanted to help real people. And now 7 years later, I'm helping people and people are coming to me. I don't have to reach out for clients. They're finding me because of, you know, interviews I've done or reels that I've made. And it hasn't always been easy. You know, it's not always easy to be on your phone like this for 7 years straight.
How many hours a day do you dedicate to content, specifically to content, not like interaction with the clients or creating a course or writing a book, but specifically to creating a content for your social medias?
A lot less than I used to, but because now I'm doing a lot more interviews and a lot more things on Zoom with clients. But I mean, there was a time, Inna, when I was doing 10 reels a day and posting them all. And that's not smart. I'm not saying that's smart. That doesn't make any sense. But, you know, I was doing it because I really loved it.
I mean, something happened. You grew really fast, really quick.
I really loved it. I really loved it. But it's not sustainable. Especially, you know, I don't have a family. I don't have kids. I don't have a job. This is my job. So, you know, that's what I was doing, you know, 10, 12, 14-hour days just on my phone, just staring on my phone. Either, you know, filming or editing or creating reels, creating content. I realized that much more important than doing stories is doing posts, okay? And I used to do a lot of stories, a lot of TikTok, a lot of Snapchat, and that was a big waste of time. Not TikTok, Snapchat. Snapchat was such a big waste of time, and I did that for so long, but it's not saved. So I realized even if it's not perfect, even if my content isn't like 10 out of 10, it's better to have it on your page or have it on YouTube than to have it in your story, because the stories are gone and they're only for 24 hours and for your followers. If you want to grow, you got to post more. Less stories, post more. And also get rid of like that judging thing that we're doing, that we're all doing. A lot of my friends, they only put out perfect content. And it's like people want to see real content, you know? Like you film real content. I try my very best to put out just things that are very natural and not highly edited, because people want to see that. They want to see exactly how you juice, exactly how you open up the fruit, you know, exactly how to pick it out, how to tell when it's ripe. And that's another thing. My YouTube, I could not grow my YouTube until I started filming on my phone. I had this beautiful camera, I had the whole setup, but it was taking so long to get videos out, editing and all this stuff. And then I realized, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm just going to focus on providing value. So I started shooting on my phone every day. I post a YouTube video every single day. And finally, I'm starting to grow. You know, it's still slow. I'm at 14,000 now. I've been doing it for 7 years. That's not normal.
I mean, it sounds so big to me, but...
But I have never done ads. I've never paid for any followers. And, you know, listen, if I was smarter, I would have ads. I would do marketing, and then I would probably grow a little bit more. But I'll get there one day. One day.
So is it one woman team, or you have anybody helping you with anything you do? And
now
tell
I
us
do.
more about that.
Yes. Okay. So I was one woman team for 5 years, but in the last few years, so I have an editor. I have an editor for my books. I have 5 books, 3 courses, and I'm actually in the process of publishing my books now. And I just bought 10 barcodes, so I'm going to be having 10 published books. So I'm excited about that. So I have an editor. I have an assistant who helps me because I have a private community now. So it's called MisFit Mondays. And MisFit, you know, because, well, I want to be fit. That's a big goal of mine, but I feel like a misfit no matter what, no matter where I go. I never fit in, you know, except for when I'm with somebody like you, it's normal, you know, but my lifestyle is so different than everyone's, so I do feel like a misfit. So I wanted to make sure and get all of us together. So now I have over 200, almost 300 people in my community, all misfits from all around the world who are interested in living a fruit-based raw vegan diet. And so I have an assistant for helping me with that, running my private Facebook group, and I'm doing workouts with them Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Zoom. That's really fun. And so I have one more person. Oh yes, I have someone that does my reels. So sometimes, you know, I do. You know him?
Yeah.
Oh, he reached out to you.
No, we've just been talking, and then he told me he does reels for you. But
yeah, he's amazing. I found him because he just was doing reels of me.
Yeah, no, I know. That's
amazing.
That's really cool.
So he was doing reels of me like a year ago, and I saw, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then recently, just in the last 2 months, I was like, wait a minute, why am I doing everything myself? You know, so I contacted him, and yeah, he's doing some reels. You know, a lot of things I do myself because I do love to do it, but I just don't have the time anymore because I am one-on-one with clients sometimes, and I'm doing a group coaching course, and I'm doing lots of interviews and working on my book. And the Fruit Festival is coming up, so it's a lot of work.
Oh, I remember the question.
But love this guy. So those are the 3 people I have on my team right now. Yeah.
So that's really cool. Are you planning to grow your team? Are you looking for the partners? Did you work with partners in the past? Tell us your experience trying to grow yourself and go to the next level, because you can without growing your either team or partnering or getting an investor into your business.
Absolutely. So I'm always interested in finding people that are passionate about the lifestyle. All 3 of the people on my team right now are fruit-based and really passionate about it. So that is the only people I will work with. I don't want to just work with somebody who's working for money. That doesn't work for me because that's not what I do. And that's not what you do either. You know, this is our life. So I don't create content. I just film what I'm doing. You know, I never, like right now we're doing an interview, but if the cameras were not here, we would still be talking like this, you know? This is just our life, and this is what I do. So I just always try to get the camera to be on, you know, when I'm at home, when I'm making a smoothie, when I'm opening fruit, when I'm picking out fruit at the store, I just put the camera on. I'm not like doing anything for social media. So yeah, I would like to grow my team, you know, with different people that are passionate about the lifestyle, for sure. I'm always looking to work with like-minded people that care.
Love it. There's nothing better than that.
Yes. Yeah. I know you agree.
No, I agree. My team is 99% fruitarian. There's a few people that I work that are not.
Cool. It's so cool.
Have you ever thought about your own like a retreat or some kind of MisFit vegan type of live, not online community event?
Yes. So I actually was going to do a retreat. I booked the venue and everything, put the deposit in, and my partner decided she didn't want to do it anymore. So I lost my deposit, and you know, things like this have happened a lot over the years. You know, being an entrepreneur since 2017 and since 2020 full time. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've had a lot of partnerships with people that were not passionate about the lifestyle. They just wanted to be, you know, an entrepreneur, or they wanted to make a living on social media. And so I have learned over the years to only partner with people that are passionate. I had a business partner with my company, Fruit is Life. That was a big mistake as well, because this person really only cared about the profit. They didn't care about the lifestyle. They didn't care about, you know, spreading the truth about what to eat and what not to eat for health. And so that was another mistake. But every mistake has given me lessons that are so valuable that I would pay millions of dollars for. So yeah, I have thought about a retreat, and I was gonna do one, but then it fell through. And then maybe in the future, I would love to bring people together to really like show them this lifestyle is so amazing, and you will not crave any processed foods if you're having high quality, truly ripe fruit. You will not crave it. You won't crave the burgers or the French fries. You won't ever want to go back, because not only does it taste amazing, you will feel amazing. You'll look amazing. You're going to just crave this fruit. I'm telling you, I was telling you before, I went to a raw vegan restaurant yesterday. I didn't want anything on the menu. If I could have anything on earth, it was long gons, you know? And I was texting you about that. And I see as soon as I walk in that I didn't want the raw vegan pizza. It was gonna be dry. I don't like to eat dry foods anymore. When I was a kid, I ate a lot of bread and a lot of pasta and pizza. And I craved those things. You know why? Because that's what I was eating. Whatever you eat, you crave. So now I eat mostly fruit, so I crave mostly fruit. Sometimes I like to eat greens at night. So I do eat a big salad every night, and I crave that because I'm eating it. But if I stopped eating it, I wouldn't crave it anymore.
I think it's easier for the people with the leadership quality to transition to fruitarian lifestyle. Do you think for people that don't have leadership quality, it's much more challenging? And I think the communities like yours and others in Woodstock Fruit Festivals are pretty much necessary to lead the people that can do it themselves. They need somebody to tell them that, yeah, you can bring the ball. You have to show them the Instagram picture so they're like, oh, she did it, I can do it too, or I want to do it too. And that's the influencers.
You have a great point, Inna. Nobody talks about this part of it, but most people are waiting for permission to do what they want to do. And a leader like you and me, we have leadership qualities. It really helps. It really, really helps to be a leader and to give yourself permission. Because honestly, it's not going to work. If you're waiting for the world to revolve around you and your goals and the way you eat, it's just not going to happen. You know, you're going to step outside and do something very different than most of your friends and family. If you want to be a fruitarian, you're going to have to be a leader, and you're going to have to not care what people think. And that's difficult because at the end of the day, we all want to fit in. That's just in our DNA. We really do want to be accepted. We want to be loved. We want to be a part of the tribe, but it just is not going to work unless you step forward and you start the movement yourself in your city, your town, in your community. You know, if you can't find fruitarian meetups, then do what Inna does and create your own. Create your own community. That's what I did. I had to create my own community because I didn't fit into the communities that I found. You know, I don't want to name names, so I won't. But there's a lot of raw vegans or fruitarians out there where they have their community and it's constantly about juice fasting. In order to be a part of the community, you have to do a 40-day juice fast. And I don't want to do that. I don't believe in that unless I was sick. You know, I don't believe in that. So I couldn't be a part of this community. Then the next community, it's like they're water fasting, or the next community is drinking their own urine, or this community, that's true.
It's great for the teaser. So I'm just like, yes.
This community believes in the blood type diet. This community doesn't eat any sugar, no fruit. You know, just sprouts and nuts.
Keto fruit. Keto.
Yeah, keto raw. And it's like, I didn't fit into any of these communities. So you know what I had to do? I had to start my own. And a lot of it had to do with Woodstock Fruit Festival inspiring me and realizing that, yes, there are other people out there that have a sense of humor, that don't take life so seriously, that are normal people in society, that shower, that, you know, like, that wear normal clothes, that wear shoes, even though we don't have shoes right now.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, our show is about normal people, urban fruitarians that, you know, wear nice clothes, live in Manhattan, Florida, all this other
gorgeous
main
earrings.
city.
But here's the thing, I've met a lot of raw vegans that don't wear shoes. They never wear shoes. Okay, that's great. That's not what I'm doing, but you can do you, boo. You can do you, but I want to spread the word that you can totally be a functioning member of society and a fruitarian. It's very possible.
Right, and that's, I guess, the mission with Urban Fruitarian Project and its own.
Yes.
And it wasn't because I couldn't fit into yours, because I just have this relationship with fruitarians all over the world, because being manilingual, it was in touch with many people, and I was like, I want to just bring everybody together. Is it possible for somebody who is not a leader to develop leadership qualities and become a leader, or it's something you are born with and you just have to develop?
Good one.
You were the manager at a few companies, including Woodstock Fruit Festival, Juice Press.
Organic Avenue.
When you were running your teams, were you ever able to take one really good employee and make him a leader, or good employee is a good employee, or good person is a good person but not a leader?
Yeah. People, being a leader is a skill. It's not a trait. I don't believe. Yes, there are different astrological signs that are more adapt to be leaders, right? But I know for a fact that leadership is a trait. It's a skill that you can learn. I'm naturally a leader, and before I was the boss, people called me bossy, because I know what needs to be done, So if you're not the boss, then they're going to call you bossy. But once you become the boss, everyone loves you because you're in charge and you're helping everyone. So I never really worked out as an employee. Every job I've ever had, I always get promoted to being in charge because that's just where I naturally enjoy being. That's where I shine, leading a team. But I have absolutely taken employees and trained them. And they were not naturally, leaders, but they are naturally good at caring. And if you care, you can be a leader. You have to care. You have to care about what you're doing. If you don't, people can see right through you. And that's another reason why people, I think, are drawn to me on social media. And I don't have the biggest following, but I have a lot of supporters. I don't have a lot of followers, but I have a lot of supporters all around the world. I have a P.O. box. Every day, somebody sends me watermelon accessories from all around the world. My office, I've never bought anything in that office. It's all from people. And people are sending me stuff. I just got a notification today in Florida. Something's waiting for me from who knows where. And I think the reason is because people can feel that I care. I really, like you, I really care about this. I want people to know that they don't have to suffer. They don't have to have diseases that are caused by what they're eating. They can eat delicious food and feel good and help the planet and the animals and the future, even if it ends in 5 years, It's like we have an opportunity of a lifetime to make a conscious, healthy decision for ourselves, for our friends and our family, and make it worth being here. You feel good, look good, do good, and people can feel that. And so if you want to be a leader, you have to find something you care about. A lot of people in this world are working in a field they don't care about. So of course they're not going to excel. Of course they're not going to get promoted. They don't care. They're there for, to pay bills and die. And I know that I wasn't born to do that. So yeah, I think it's possible, but you got to care.
It's really easier to go to a traditional restaurant.
Yeah.
And order yourself a plate of fruit than going to the raw vegan restaurant and then try not, because you think, it's just raw vegan, and then you feel sick afterwards.
But the thing is, I don't even want it anymore. That's the thing. Everyone around me was like, Jeannette, we came all the way, because everyone's not from New York. So they came all the way here and they took me to this raw vegan restaurant. You have to try different things. And, being raw or fruit-based for, almost 13 years, I thought that I was bulletproof when it came to social pressures, but I gave in yesterday and I got the most simplest thing on the menu, which was the nori wraps. No dehydrated stuff, but still, because salt, there's so much salt in there, walnut pate, who knows what's in there. Everything looked, healthy on the menu, but I don't eat salt. I haven't had salt in so long. So now
That's the puffiness problem.
I'm not going to be pressured anymore because I don't know. I just felt guilty because everybody was like, we're here because it's raw. You have to try something, which I don't want anymore. I don't want the raw vegan gourmet stuff. I did for the first 6 years. Now it's not even it's like the orange juice you gave me, so good.
Just orange.
I don't even crave dehydrated foods. I don't crave chocolate anymore, and I'm so grateful because I was a chocoholic. But listen, I went to a French vegan restaurant. So here in New York is my friend's favorite French vegan restaurant.
I know.
And they don't have even salad. They don't even have salad because that's what I would get in a restaurant, right? So I brought my own. I brought red dragon fruit and jackfruit, and I'm sitting there, and it's fine. I didn't even ask, can I eat my fruit? I just did it. You don't even have to ask, but it's not socially acceptable. I mean, thank God. My friend doesn't care. She knows me for 20 years. She doesn't care, but someone else might be like, you're embarrassing me, or, oh, you can't do that in here. It's a fancy restaurant. Well, nobody said anything. Nobody kicked me out. Nobody asked me what I was eating. Everything was fine. So I just want to say that it's not socially acceptable, but you can still do it. You can live your life. You don't have to be, just avoiding socializing if you're trying to be healthy. You find a way to do it like you do.
Do you think it's intentional or accidental that Wikipedia is very strongly defining word fruitarianism includes nuts and seeds, and when we try to change it, because in the Wikipedia you can change it, they do not let you, and they actually block you as soon as you try to do that. And because I tried to do it 7 times. And it's very interesting because in Russian and Ukrainian, we were able to change that. And nobody was monitoring that, and actually it's changed there. But in English part of the Wikipedia, and again, it's because it's the first thing that pops out when somebody types. And so if somebody, So for like, when I started to look, you type in the Google and the definition is a definition. And what would you really, is it like a conspiracy thing or it's an accidental that somebody, whoever did the definition first, did it such way and that person became pretty much an opinion for a definition.
I don't think anything's
toward
accidental on the
fruitarianism.
internet. I mean, they're taking down so many videos on YouTube. I'm moving over to Rumble because, I mean, there is no freedom of speech here in America. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but I know here it really doesn't exist. So you have to be careful. I've had to be careful because so I work with a lot of clients and I help a lot of people reverse very serious diseases. But I don't really talk about it because you really can't. You're not allowed to. But the truth is that I had a client this year. She had stage 4 breast cancer. She went on a fruit-based raw vegan diet and she reversed it in 6 months. No chemotherapy, no radiation, no drugs or medication. I can't really talk about that too much because, well, then, you know, what happened to Dr. Sebi and all these other people that say, I can cure cancer, I can cure blindness. You can't really say that in our society. So. But there are many, many diseases that are being reversed, as you know, and cured on a fruit-based diet. You know, when we're eating what we're supposed to eat, the body does what it's supposed to do, which is heal. I don't want to tell anybody what to do. You don't have to eat fruit if you don't want to. I recommend it. You're going to feel really good. You know, you're going to heal. It's going to be a totally different life for you. But if you don't want that, you can keep doing what you're doing. I only work with people that are ready and also really, really want to do this. I don't try to make anyone raw or fruitarian anymore. You know, I used to in the past, but now I just work with people that want help.
Do you think in the current community of fruitarians or raw vegans, there are a lot of internal issues? So it's not like a perfect world when everybody, even on this lifestyle, a lot of people still have a lot of physical and mental issues, but mental being the case, and that influence the perception of fruitarianism overall when the person first learn about such a lifestyle. But not every example is somebody who wants to be like, and that could just push a lot of people backwards. And again, with this show, we're trying to change that perception that people that are fruitarian are
normal?
Let's say normal, absolutely normal. They live in the big city of New York or Florida or Moscow or Kiev and whatever. They do their job, whatever their job is. Not everybody in fruitarian. I know a lot of business people, I know doctors, I know who just love this lifestyle. They didn't change anything about their job. They're still doing what their mission in life to do. It's just you and me. We figured that being influencers in this specific topic is our role, but other people just continue doing what they're doing. But do you feel like there's other people and that kind of, the group is pushing forward and somebody pushes us back? And what are the issues you find within the community that you wish you personally could address or figure out how to resolve?
Yes, so in every sector of society, in every lifestyle, there are people with eating disorders and mental health issues. I just think that in the fruitarian community or the raw vegan community, it might seem a little more prevalent because we're such a small group. But I mean, in every part of society, there are people with mental health issues, with eating disorders. So I don't think that there's more in the fruitarian community, but we are a small niche. So yeah, I think there are some people in this community, I'll speak about the raw vegan community specifically, that are spreading messages that are not healthy, that are definitely hurting the lifestyle and the brand of being healthy, being a healthy human. And I try to not interview those people specifically. I try to help people understand that being healthy is a lifestyle of abundance, not of constantly water fasting, dry fasting, cleansing, juice cleansing. I'm really, really against promoting these things as a way of living. Now, if somebody is sick, that's a different story, you know? There's water fasting centers that you can go to. I wouldn't recommend dry fasting ever, but you can go places to water fast if that's what you want to do because you have a very, very serious illness. But there are definitely people in this community that are constantly cleansing, just doing it to, quickly lose weight and, cleanse as much mucoid plaque out as possible. And, I don't promote that at all because, that is not what the lifestyle is about. The lifestyle is about abundance and health and not just, just lying in bed, drinking water, and just like having no energy to live your life. Being a fruitarian or being a raw vegan, being a healthy human means that you're happy, you have energy, you're full of life, and you can be with your friends and family, and you can do your life purpose. You can't live your life purpose if you're constantly cleansing, if you're constantly sick and constantly feeling so weak because you're starving. And I do talk about it a lot on my channel because people are constantly asking me, Inna, should I go on a juice cleanse? What do you recommend for a juice fast? How many juices a day should I drink? And it's like so many people are coming to this lifestyle all the time that just want a quick fix, want to lose 20 pounds for a wedding in 2 weeks. And it's like, that's not what I do. I've been doing this for 13 years. And yes, I did do juice fast in the beginning before I knew what I was doing, okay? I didn't know that this is actually not the way to do it. This is actually setting me back. Because once you do a juice cleanse, you come off it and you're so hungry that if you don't have extremely strong willpower, you might eat something that is not healthy, or you might go back to eating dead animal body parts. You might go back to eating fast food, okay? It takes a very strong-willed person to do a cleanse and then stay raw, which thank God I did, but I'm very strong-willed. Not everybody's like that. So I see so many people falling off the lifestyle, saying raw veganism doesn't work, saying fruitarian doesn't work, it rots your teeth, it does this, it does that. That's not true. That's not true at all. I know so many long-term raw vegans and fruitarians that are thriving. So, and some of them are not on the internet. A lot of them are not on the internet.
It was one of my questions. I wonder if, many are not.
Because, because I run the Woodstock Fruit Festival, I meet so many people on this lifestyle and I want to interview them, but they don't want to be out there. There's somebody in New York. He's pretty much fruitarian. He has greens. So we can call him raw vegan or we can call him fruitarian, but he's been doing this for over 30 years. He doesn't want to be interviewed because it's just not his thing, but he's thriving, he's doing amazing. And I know other people too that are not on the internet. So I would just really recommend everybody does their research and also realizes that people with an eating disorder are not raw vegan. They have an eating disorder. Okay, starving is not part of the diet. Constantly cleansing is not part of the diet. Water fasting is not part of the healthy, raw vegan diet. So that's all I want to say about that.
Whatever your title is, you're a big part of the Woodstock Fruit Festival. So with that, I have a few questions. Number one, it's not your festival. It's not something you came up with.
Correct.
So you are working for somebody else. How does it feel as you're a leader and you have your own opinions? And again, we talked already about it, right? Different views within the same community. How is it to work for someone else, for organization, and but that has a similar values and views on what we're talking about and fruitarian lifestyle, but also, just tell us more about whatever you can disclose for this interview, any juicy stuff, whatever it is, about your position within Woodstock Fruit Festival, how long you're planning on doing it, what are your thoughts, and...
So we have a board of directors, which Ann Osborne is on. She's a 33-year fruitarian. I think you just recently interviewed her, so that's really exciting. So she's on the board of directors. We have a few other people that are investors in the company. I never, ever speak to them. So it doesn't feel like I have a boss. I have a partner. Her name is Yulia. We run the festival together. And I'm never told what to do. So it doesn't feel like I have a boss, but I run the social media. I am in charge of all of the volunteers, so the work exchange program. And I was doing the schedule for a while, but we found someone else to do that because I'm just too busy right now. And I'm doing a lot of logistics. I found the new venue. That's what I was doing all of last year, going all around the country looking for a new venue for the festival. I found one. It's not ideal, but I found the best I could, which is in Homestead, Florida this year.
I believe it's already sold out. There's no even point to
It is completely sold out.
advertise.
It is completely sold out, yeah. Woodstock Fruit Festival is a dream come true to be a part of because I volunteered there in 2017. I went as a volunteer and I could afford to go, but I just really wanted to be a part of it. I really wanted to be a part of the behind the scenes. So I went and it changed my life. And I didn't know that there were so many people all around the world also eating a fruit-based lifestyle. And I didn't know that I could go to a place where it was normal have a giant bowl of mangoes for lunch. Like, it's so cool there. It's like, there's nothing, you're not strange. You're just a regular person there, you know? And there's so many of you, and the vibration is so high. And I love it. And then the next year they asked me to be a manager. And then the next year they asked me to be in charge of the managers. And then the next year they asked me to be in charge of the festival. So I'm really appreciative to the opportunity. I worked with Mike Arnstein before he left the organization. And he's just definitely one of my mentors and somebody I really look up to. If anybody doesn't know who that is, he ran a lot of triathlons as a fruitarian. And he's amazing, a real pioneer in the fruitarian and raw food movement. And it's an amazing community. I highly recommend everybody check it out, woodstockfruitfestival.com. We are sold out, though.
We'll have the link.
We are sold out, but we might
do the second one.
Do a second festival in August if I find a place. So I'm looking for another venue, not in Florida, though, because it's a little too hot in Florida in August. But we are looking, and hopefully we'll find another venue so we can have two. So we'll see.
So do you know, like, what's the average number of people at the Woodstock Fruit Festival? We're looking for the venue for how many people?
In the past, we had between 500 and 600 people. This year at the festival that we're going to run in Homestead, it's 240 people. That's the maximum of the property. We're open to having as many people as possible. We really want everyone that wants to come to the festival. We just found a property that's a little small for the size of, what we're used to. But we're open. 500 or more. Yeah, we've had up to 700, I think, at one of the festivals.
So you said the word investors, and what I remember,
Correct.
if I remember correctly, the Woodstock Fruit Festival recently became a non-for-profit organization. Correct. That's correct. So I will assume those are donors.
Correct.
More than investors. And
we just became a nonprofit.
Right. So is that all happened when Michael left and transferred the...
Correct. We've never made a profit, so...
Right, you cannot make a profit in such a way.
The Woodstock Fruit Festival lost money before I was involved.
Last year it lost, I think.
Before I was involved,
it was made. Yeah.
Before 2017, it was in the red. So
it was in green.
In the red. No, Michael Arnstein gave his money to make it happen.
Okay.
He never made money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We've never been in the green. We've only been, so we were losing money or breaking even. And this year as well. We don't make any money.
Right.
Everyone involved, every single person involved, me, Yulia, all the volunteers, all the people on the board of directors, do it because this is our life.
Right.
That is so inspiring and amazing. And of course, if you're doing something a lot, I put a lot of time and effort into the Woodstock Fruit Festival, but, not getting, compensation, well, that is difficult for a lot of people, but I know that when you're walking with your purpose, when you walk with purpose, you collide with your destiny. And I know that the universe has my back, and I make a great living by inspiring people to go raw, to eat a lot of fruit instead of animal products. So I know that I'll always have money because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And the Woodstock Fruit Festival is definitely part of it. So, compensation and money, it's not important to me when it comes to my life purpose because I know I'll be covered. It'll just come to me. And as long as I'm doing it because, I'm supposed to be, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I know that the universe has my back, always.
So do you think there's anything that could be done beyond maybe your control to the festival of this caliber, like this type of festival, that would make such thing profitable so more people would want to organize stuff like that?
Yes.
Because I'm sure that
Good
the
question.
Burning Man is the profitable event or some
Of
other
course.
event. So.
Yes. The main reason why it's not profitable is because of the fruit. We spend a lot of money on fruit. Burning Man, I don't think they provide any durian, Musan King durian from, Malaysia. So yeah, the fruit is the biggest cost and the venue, of course. And we priced it this year a little higher than normal than in the past years, only because the venue is so expensive. We're not making money from the festival. So I just want people to know that we're doing it for the love of the community.
And technically whoever invested the money to the festival technically donated the money probably, or expecting it back, but it was more.
No,
like
we gave it back.
Oh, loan.
Yeah,
so loan
we've already,
money.
yeah.
So the person who is an investor is technically a loaner. So
Correct.
To correctly to word it.
Yeah.
To what they need tax.
It is It is the largest fruit festival in the world. And I'm so grateful to Yulia, who wanted to keep it going, you know, because without her, it would not be here right now. She always says without me, it wouldn't be happening, but like without her, it wouldn't be happening either. So I'm really grateful to her. And
was she the one to find the person to get the money to have this festival?
No, but she's the one who does all of the bookkeeping. She does all of the accounting, all the things that I cannot do. You know, me, I can do interviews, I can lead the teams, I can make it happen, but you know, I can't do the back end stuff. I can't. She's an Excel genius, so she does all the back end, the tax stuff.
No, she's very passionate about. I know her personally.
Incredible.
She's very passionate about the festival.
Yes, so she does all the back
but
end
definitely
stuff.
not a marketing person. So between two of you, I think you
Yes.
definitely a great team. And
yes,
thankfully that you guys found the person that would make this festival happening. Otherwise, I will assume it wouldn't.
Yes, exactly, absolutely. And so for profit, it's going to be a little difficult for you to run a fruit festival and for it to be very profitable. But anything's possible, but the cost of going will have to be very high.
How about smells? Walking down New York, there is 25 restaurants in one block and everything smells delicious. Let's not lie, it smells delicious.
Yes.
At that moment, do you ever have a craving internal or really for so many years, your body has changed?
So you agree it smells good?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because it's interesting because it still smells really good. Like my roommate, who I love, this is my best friend, she is not raw. She'll never go raw. And she likes to say that. And she...
never say never.
Yeah, never say never. But yeah, she'll go raw when she has health issues, like most people.
Universe finds the way to taste.
So she makes croissants in the toaster oven, and they smell so good. It's like... amazing waffles, you know. She makes like fried mushrooms, and she makes it smell like fried chicken, you know, with the spices, and it smells so good. But it doesn't smell good enough to eat because I don't see cooked food as food anymore. I don't see the raw dehydrated food as food anymore. Like yesterday, it was not appealing to me. And I think the reason is because your cells change, and maybe you can talk more about this as well, but something happens with the molecular structure of your cells that it doesn't recognize those foods as foods anymore because, well, they're not. They're not for human food. They're not for human consumption. So now I see an orange over there, and I'm like, oh, I bet that's really good. But I see a coffee cup next to it. And to me, you know, a piece of fried chicken or a piece of bread is just like that coffee cup. It's not food. Like I wouldn't eat my iPhone. I know that's not food. I wouldn't eat a piece of bread. I know that's not food. And this happened after many years. You know, I've been doing this for 13 years and I'll be doing it for the rest of my life. But in the beginning, it was difficult to live in a family. Like I lived with my mom and my sister for 9 years as a raw vegan. And, you know, they ate all the mac and cheese and all the things that I used to love. And in the beginning, I did have to have willpower and strength and just focus on eating as much fruit as possible and a lot of gourmet, you know? So if I was craving pizza, I had raw vegan pizza.
I think the world is slowly getting smaller because of development of technology. By now, the technology of AI grew so much that it actually replaces a lot of team members on your team. Technically, it can at this point. Does a lot of jobs that you probably had to do manually before, and now it could be done with a snap of your finger. How do you feel about AI? Do you see it as a threat? Do you see it as a help? What are your concerns? What are your excitement about the upcoming technology that's been growing insane in the last 9 months that I've been working with it?
Yeah, I don't do anything with AI. I have heard of ChatGPT. I don't use it. Perhaps one day in the future I will, but I personally don't use AI. I'm not against it, but it's just not something that I've been exploring. I think it is a little dangerous, honestly.
Little to say the least, I would say, but okay.
I think it is a little dangerous, and I think that we're losing a part of humanity that we're not going to be able to get back. And I think we need to be careful. Use it for good, which is tough because think about social media. I mean, social media has changed my life. And I've met so many people like you and so many of my friends and so many of my closest mentors through social media. But the problem is that there's a lot of bad things on social media. There's a lot of evil things. There's a lot of problems with social media. So with AI, it's going to be the same thing. It can be used for good or evil. And what are we going to do with it? You know, and all this technology, it needs to be controlled in a way, you know, like if we let it get out of hand, I fear for the future. Luckily, I'm almost 40. I'll only be here for another like 100 years. I don't want to see what's happening in 1,000 years. I really don't, because I just don't know where it's going. It could be really bad.
That being said, let's say you knew for sure the end of the world would happen in, let's say, 5 years or so, or less. Would you do anything different to what you're doing nowadays?
I love this question. Yes. If I knew for sure the end of the world would happen in 5 years, I would do more. I would just make more videos. I would do more interviews. I would make more content. I would write more books. I would try to get more people into my courses. Right now, you know, people come to me and they're interested in taking courses with me, learning how to be raw.
What's the motivation then? What's the motivation?
Because I know I'm here to inspire as many people as possible. My goal is to inspire 1 billion people to eat as much fruit as possible instead of dead animal body parts. That is my motto. That is my goal.
Is it because when people go to that lifestyle, they feel so great that they can enjoy those 5 years much more than if they were?
Yes, but it's also, mostly it's because
if at that point you can't save the planet, so.
Good point, yeah. But mostly it's because I know I was sent here to do that. So whatever happens as a result of that is great, but I know that's why I was sent here. So I would push myself more, and just because you asked that question, I'm going to push myself more because we don't know when the world will end. We don't know when we'll not be here anymore. I want to do as much as possible when I'm here. I mean, I lost most of my family members before their time, and it has really, that's another reason why I've grown, because it has pushed me to do more and try to reach more people before my time is over, because I don't know when it's going to be over. Yeah, good question, Inna.
And if you have the ability to pick one person to talk to out of, media, Forbes 100 or Forbes 10, top 10 Forbes people, who would you have a 5 or 10 minute chat, like if that was an auction item? And
that I have not spoken to?
Have you? Yes, the one. No, I mean, unless you can get back to that person and speak again to that person, and why? And what would you tell them?
If I could talk to anybody in this world, whether they are living or dead, it would be my sister. I would love to have another 5 minutes with my sister.
What would you say? If that's not too private to share.
So my sister had a brain tumor when she was 2 years old. She was disabled, so she had many strokes, many seizures. She was in a wheelchair most of her life. She lost ability to move the left side of her body. She couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, she couldn't eat by herself, she couldn't go to the bathroom by herself. Never once did she complain. Not once did she ask, why me? Why did this happen to me? She woke up one day from a stroke, from a surgery, and she didn't have access to her left side. She didn't ask why. She said, can you pass me the crayons? She just wanted to start drawing with her hand that she had. And living with somebody like that is just the most valuable thing on earth. I just can't even tell you the lessons that she has taught me. So if I could just see her for 5 more minutes, I would just want to hold her. I want to hug her and just tell her I love her, and tell her how much she's inspired me and how much I want to make her proud. And everything I do, it's for her. It's because I don't want anyone else to have to suffer the way she did. Constant surgeries, constant hospitalizations. She died she was in the ICU 4 times, so she almost died 4 times in her life. And many miracles too I've seen because of her. So that would be it, my sister. I just tell her I love her, I miss her.
Well, last question, I think. Maybe 2 questions. Is the planet round or flat?
I plead the fifth.
You can just answer it and no explanation.
No, okay. I have no idea. I haven't been up there. But here's what I know. Oh, such a good topic. Here's what I know, Inna. We've been lied to about most of the things. Mm-hmm. It's possible we've been lied to about the shape of the earth too. That's what I want to say. That's it.
I just remember how I actually met Jeannette. So originally I was going to get my hair done with a person, and that person was the same person that was doing Jeanette's hair. And that she started telling me when she found out, my hairstylist found out, my friend, found out that I've been eating mostly fruit. She's like, oh, I have another client who also only eats fruits. And I was like, it's impossible. You have to introduce us. And so she was keep telling me about Jeannette, but wouldn't give me her social media. And I started to do my blog about fruitarianism, and I went on Instagram and I started posting and I started hashtagging. And one of my favorite hashtags that came to me randomly through just, to my head was fruit is life, because I felt like fruit was life. And I was hashtagging fruit is life, posting the pictures, fruitarianism, fruit is life. And one time I clicked on this fruit is life tag and I came to Jeannette's profile. And then I added her, and then at some point in the future, somehow, I don't remember already how, but it's connected to me that my friend, the hairstylist, was trying to introduce me to Jeannette, but I already connected with her through this hashtag Fruit is Life. As a watermelon in Jeannette's life, Fruit is Life is also part of her brand, her personal brand, MisFit Vegan. I say watermelon, MisFit Vegan, and the Fruit is Life is part of her personal brand. And I know she has a lot of inspirations to do something with this brand outside of her personal brand. So what's your vision? And you kind of already touched upon it about the Fruit is Life. What do you see in the future? What do you see now? How you plan to get there?
Yeah, that's such a cool story. I didn't know that. That is so cool. So in 2020, I started a company called Fruit is Life, LLC. I bought the company, I bought the website. And I just, honestly, I've been saying it forever, just like you. I don't know, it just came to me naturally. And it's something that I would love to take into a brick and mortar space. So I'd love to have Fruit is Life cafes all around the world, providing fresh, high quality, amazing, fast fruit. People want to be healthy. It's just not convenient. For most people.
It's convenience and marketing, I would say.
It's not convenient for most people.
It's inconvenience and the lack of marketing.
Yes. So you go to a basketball game, you're not going to find fruit. And you're not going to find high quality fruit, for sure. But imagine somebody's walking around that basketball game with a tray of, mame sapote. Like people will buy it. People will love it. They'll be so happy to be healthy. And that's what I want to do. I want to make it easy for people to make the healthy choice. And so Fruit is Life is coming, hopefully, one day. And And for now, I do sell fruit at a farmer's market in South Florida called Coconut Grove. And it's amazing, mostly vegan farmer's market. I really love it. And we'll see where it ends up. And I'm just, people always ask me, where do I see myself in 5 years or 10 years? And I don't exactly know, but I just know I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and see where it takes me, because I know I'm on the right path for sure. Doors of opportunity keep opening for me, and I'm just going to keep walking through them. I'm just going to follow my heart. My heart tells me this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm just going to keep doing it. So we'll see.
Let's rewrite the future. We said what happens if the world ends in 5 years. Where do you see in reality being today? What do you see will happen to the world in 5-10 years as far as fruitarianism goes? With the technology changing anything, do you think it will grow? It will be stopped at some point because it will become inconvenient to the...
No. I think it's going to grow. I love what you're doing.
And where do you see your role in that in the future, other than what we already talked about?
Yes. Well, I think it's going to keep growing. I love what you're doing. I love that there are some people out there dedicated to growing it. And I think it is going to be more and more popular because, honestly, because people are waking up and realizing that they are not here to be sick. And the medical industry does not have answers. They don't have solutions. They're just giving you a quick fix, and there are negative side effects. With a fruit-based diet, there are no negative side effects at all. And people are realizing that. A lot of my clients have tried the traditional route of eating, tried having the surgeries, tried the medications, and it made them sicker. And a lot of people have gotten sick over the years, obviously, the past few years especially. And so a fruit-based diet is something that people can use to take their health and their life into their own hands. And so I think it's going to become way more popular. I don't know what my role is, but I know that I'm a truth seeker and a truth spreader. So I will continue doing what I'm doing. And listen, people ask me all the time, what if your channel gets deleted? Okay, well, I'll start another one. And, Dr. Morse's channel just got deleted, okay, on YouTube. And he has another one, And so you're just it doesn't really matter what happens on the internet. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And hopefully I can start my fast fruit restaurant and have you guys there and for the grand opening, and then just make that a new McDonald's, a new chain of fast food, because fruit truly is fast food. We just don't know it yet.
So I want to start this tradition for the live interviews. I'm going to be bringing gifts.
Inna.
So I have a few gifts for you. This one is box from my little company here, Luxury Fruit Connect, which is the same as Fruit is Life, just in New York, local stuff. And I could not have.
Inna, I cannot believe this.
So this is a New York grown watermelon from the farmer's market. It might not be the best of the best inside. It should have some seeds. Sometimes it doesn't, but not because it's seedless, because it's just little baby watermelon from Union Square Market Farm that I shop for watermelons all summer long. The season is almost over. But this is like a true New York, organic, non-GMO grown watermelon from the farm that's been growing them for over 20 years, they told me. So
wow.
It's the last one I have, and I'm giving them
Whoa,
to
it's
you.
heavy.
So during the interview, Jeannette mentioned mamey. Yeah. And I almost guarantee this will be one of the best mameys you probably ever had. I just got a feeling.
Wow.
So,
can they see? I want them to see. Oh my gosh. Whoa, thank you so much, Inna. I want to give you a big hug. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm attached to the... You're amazing, Inna. Wow. I didn't expect anything. Oh, this was amazing.